Good morning, choppers. Welcome back to the Nathan Ivey Show. The Nathan Ivey Show, sponsored by UC Health. UC Health, Cincinnati's only academic health system.
It was the voice of a courageous explorer, a man dedicated to the pursuit of man's knowledge and the expansion of his horizons.
Good morning. Here is Nathan Ivey.
NathanIvey.com. Mr. Ivy know the show must go on. As far as Cincinnati, man, I put on. Tools made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised arms, close fists, yeah, too strong. Team AI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cops watching, listen to the real. Jumping like hopscotch, nobody harder than, oh, no, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlatives, keep it locked like them Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airwaves, we talk about it. Brand new like the tent place, let's be about it. Who got the info by the AM? Jono be the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of Drippos. Show you where the bricks at, Cincinnati red tag. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at. It's the 5-1-3, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at.
Broadcasting live from Cincinnati, Ohio, here's the king of superlative flows, Nathan Ivey.
Back from my hiatus, politicking on the latest. Good morning, shoppers. We're broadcasting live from the heart of Cincinnati, Ohio. From the Superlative Media Studios. If you'd like to amplify your thoughts this morning, 513-873-7134. Any vocal locals out there? This morning I want to talk about, well, I prepared a smattering of topics on people, politics, and pleasure. This might be a very interesting week for the Nathan Ivey Show. And I'll give you more details. As you know, as the show grows, as we take on more affiliates, advertisers, sponsors, syndicators, I want to let you know every step of the process. So this could be a very interesting week for the program. And I'm glad to be with you as well. Today is Monday, November 14th, 2016. November 14th, 2016. Christmas right around the corner. And I want to talk about what people might be talking about throughout the rest of the day. And I want to talk about it first with you. Okay? I'm looking for some local vocals to share a thought or two on, well, an issue or two. And via the internet now, everything is local. We broadcast live with the potential to be heard across the globe. Numerous things to discuss. This morning, I want to talk about Dave Chappelle on SNL. SNL is an acronym that stands for Saturday Night Live. You should know that. And it left me wanting more. I want more Chappelle. And the one thing I know about creative people, the one thing I know about people that make big moves is that when they make a move because it has multiple outcomes for multiple reasons. At least that was the reason why I make moves. And something is telling me that perhaps the Dave Chappelle might be setting himself up for a comeback, maybe a sitcom, maybe Dave Chappelle 2.0, but he killed it on SNL. And you know your boy has the clips for you. We must discuss. Speaking of clips, did anybody get a chance to watch 60 Minutes? Even my daughter was like, Dad, Donald Trump is on 60 Minutes. I'm like, this girl, I love it. And while on 60 Minutes, he confirmed a lot of fears for people, including saying that he's going to create a mass deportation force to not only find, but then to deport or to incarcerate. Ooh, if you've got some stocks in the prison industrial complex, you love to hear things like that. More people incarcerated, Hercules, more money, right? Deuce, fat pockets. Get yourself some of that prison industrial complex stocks. okay, during the Trump administration. It might go through the roof. And I have a few questions exactly on how that is going to work exactly. How's that going to work? Will Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Deters, is he going to retry Ray Tensing? And if he does retry Ray Tensing, will he retry Ray Tensing, who, if you don't know, the judge declared a mistrial. I was your eyes and ears on the scene right outside the steps of the Hamilton County Courthouse in the middle of all of it. You know me. I don't want to be on the outside. I want to be in the middle of it. And I did interviews with all the major players, some of these so-called leaders, if you want to look at that way, of Black Lives Matter, some of the usual folks, activists, some of those names you might remember, some folks from the NAACP, some folks who were involved with the collaborative, citizens who were down there. It was very interesting, very interesting. And I was your eyes on the ears first. First. How can one man continue to scoop an entire radio station? That's because I got heart, baby, and I'm not afraid. And I took you into the middle of it. If you're interested in watching any of that video, you can find it on my Facebook page and/or video. You can find the video on YouTube. Just do a search for Nathan Ivey, Ray Tensing mistrial, and the video will come up. And if you missed any of it, I'm going to play some of it for you this morning, some of the more interesting elements. Now, I will tell you straight up, there was some extreme language. People were heated. There was one dude down there, he was trying to turn it all the way up. All the way. He was trying to go all the way up. And it was hilarious because he was standing on one of the pedestals down there, just part of the architecture. And he's like calling out white people. These white people was happy when Donald Trump got elected. And one white dude was standing in front of him. He was like, man, he was like, F that MFer. I don't give a damn about Donald Trump. I'm telling you, that's a mistake that some black people make, is they exclude white people from the struggle. I'm here to tell you there's white folks that have died for the cause of civil rights. There's white people who have died for the cause to educate black people. There's white folks that's in the street more than black folks on issues that have more of an impact on black folks. So the smart thing to do is to just be a little bit more clever in our approach. Okay? I don't care what your skin color is. If we're on the same side, I don't care what your sexual orientation is. I don't care what you do when you go home. If you're on the same side, as long as you're not hurting nobody, messing with children and doing something illegal like that. Okay? I ain't with it. But other than that, if we're on the same side, I'm talking about, I ain't marching with Bill Cosby. If we're on the same side, we're on the same side, period. But it got deep. I want to play some of this for you from my YouTube page. And again, the language can be a little bit extreme, but we're all grown folks.
Let me tell you something. These white people had a good day in America when Donald Trump won. Now you tell me something different. He said it ain't a race war. When Donald Trump won, these white motherfuckers got excited. And you know what they said? We got white America back. I hate that motherfucker. I didn't get excited. We ain't get United States America.
He said I didn't get excited.
What's he so bad about the urban community? That's what they said about the urban community. So, y'all think what it is. Y'all think it ain't racist? That's fine. And y'all tell me what the fuck just happened. Who this guy, motherfucker? No, it's racist in this. Who this guy, motherfucker? Right here. Thank you. Hey, come here. Let me borrow you for a second. Can I borrow you for a second?
He was gesturing to the white dude, a rather well-dressed white dude in the crowd. He's like, come here, can I borrow you for a second? Borrow me. And dude was a little bit hesitant. But he did walk over. I'm telling you, what's white folks down there, man? We cannot exclude. I don't care what your skin color is. If you're on the right side of a particular issue, if you're on my side of the issue, we can march together. We can build together. Okay, we can build a coalition of concerned citizens. We're all American citizens at the end of the day. Some more marginalized than other. Okay? What the brother said in the opening of that YouTube video, you can find it right now on my Facebook page and on YouTube. He's absolutely right. There were some, that's why I use that term, some white people who were overly excited, all goofy with it, because Donald Trump became the first, or he is now president-elect. And if you're wondering what Donald Trump said on 60 Minutes with Leslie Stahl, I've got the audio for you. This is deep. I ran into some familiar faces, a lot of folks. You know me, I talk to everybody. Here's more clips, or hear more audio from the clip. Who else? I saw Yvette Simpson. What you, Aaron?
Yeah, man.
Nathan Ivey, man.
Nathan, nice to meet you.
You too, brother. Yeah, most definitely, man. Can I get? I'm broadcasting live. Can I get get a few things, man? Yeah. Tell me what your thoughts are on the mistrial verdict.
It's terrible. I've been watching these sorts of things for a long time, and I thought that I was jaded, and I thought that I was cynical, and I thought that I could never be shocked or surprised. But this has got me, man. This has got me really shocked. I don't know if I was just foolish to hold out that last little bit of hope that maybe the justice system could get some justice for Sam Dubose and his family, but this is just it's a punch in the stomach to everybody that's out here. Everybody in the country. It's a punch in the face.
Yeah, that brother's name is Aaron Rocco. And he's hit the streets before. You know, when I've been out and about, different protests, I've run into him many times. And we are connected on Facebook. Brian Taylor, who you heard me debate on these airwaves about the functionality of voting in the 21st century for black folks. He was down there. Brother had on knee pads. I don't know, are those carpenter sort of knee pads so you don't damage your knees? And brother was ready. I caught up with him as well. Check this out. Good to meet you face to face. So what's your mood here? You just gave a very impassioned speech to the people here. What are your feelings about the mistrial of Ray Tensing, and what should happen moving forward?
It's a complete miscarriage of justice. The message that they sent, not only with the verdict, but their decision to issue the verdict with even the Dubose family not even present, shows their disdain and disrespect.
Wait. The Dubose family wasn't allowed to get here?
The Dubose family was not present when they issued the verdict. That's what I've heard multiple times. That's what I heard in the news. So that tells you right there the gravity of the disrespect that they have. Now, you have people among us who are on two sides that are the wrong side. You have people who are calling for peace. Nobody wants to hear a call for peace. This is not a peaceful moment. This is based on a violent killing of a man who then got off innocent. So peace is not the call. Peace is going to aggravate people into a way beyond being able to organize ourselves into a disciplined action. And then you have other people who are immediately saying, acting like mass action can't change things, and the individuals need to go out and just automatically start attacking anybody. That's not the answer. That righteous anger that we feel has to be mobilized into one fist that demands justice, and to harness the anger and the frustration of people into a militant action for justice.
And what does that action look like?
I don't know what it looks like, but it looks like taking over the streets. It looks like making it very hard for them to have business as usual. It looks like making Deters' office a place where he doesn't want to be, or they can't function.
Well, you know, and we've had our disagreements on this, and that's cool. We can agree, disagree. But here we are a few days away from an election where we had a black man that was running for Hamilton County prosecutor who said that in terms of his philosophy, he was the complete opposite of Joe Deters, and yet it looks like the black vote didn't mobilize to get that man out. That plays a role in this, don't you think, Bernie?
Honestly, I don't. You don't have a prosecutor who's been in existence since day, who genuinely defends people against police brutality. The starting point remains the same. The way that this entire trial was set up was not completely in the purview of the prosecutor. The questionnaire.
I see you ready, man. You got the pads on.
I said, hey, B, thanks for your time, man.
I'm sorry.
I understand, brother.
So a man came over. You could hear the chanting sort of ratchet up in the background. A man came over and whispered into Brian's ear
at all times with all folks,
and kind of let him know that he felt like people would start to mobilizing a march in the streets. And what is that? Is that Main Street? I believe it was. At that particular point, there were people who were purposely trying to, and again, the purpose of a protest is to be seen, not in a violent fashion, but there were some members of the crowd who were ready to go there in terms of they were ready to force a confrontation. So right on Main Street there on the steps of Hamilt County Courthouse, people were starting to mobilize and traffic was stopped. There were some folks who were trying to redirect traffic. But I got a sense, and then if you're watching the live feed, I got a sense that once you start to stop the traffic, we know the boys was going to roll up. And they did on their bicycles. It's the 21st century. You can be more nimble on a bicycle than you can a horse or a police vehicle. So I get it. And there was at least one, maybe two brothers that when the police rolled up and they were trying to tell the protesters to get out of the Main Street and get back up onto the sidewalk near the Hamilt County court side, there was at least one or two brothers that was turned all the way up. They was ready. Bump that, man. To their credit, all of the police officers were being vocal. Please, can you get to the side? Please, can you? They were being very, as you would say, very polite. Very polite. But again, the police have a job to do. You're blocking traffic. It's a Saturday afternoon. You knew the boys were going to show up. There was one woman, and you can see the photograph on my Facebook page. I'm not sure what happened, but she seemed to collapse, overwhelmed by the moment. I don't think anybody struck her. I don't think that she was hit by anything. I think she was just overcome by the emotion of it all. I'm not sure if she was a family member of Sam Dubose. I'm not sure what her connection was. I didn't get a chance to talk with her and didn't recognize her. But she was overwhelmed. And there were two or three people who were trying to console the sister in the middle of Main Street. And of course, you know me, I catch everything. I catch it all. And I'm that guy. This is not for folks who are like, well, damn, Nate, you're there. This is what I do. Okay. When the Tea Party took over the streets of downtown Cincinnati, I was there in the middle of it. When the 99% were marching through the streets of Cincinnati, I was there in the middle of it, right? This is what I do. This is what you can expect from me. I won't take your clicks for granted. I won't take. Now, I know that so-called other black media, if you want to call it that, showed up a little bit later, hours later. And I'm not really sure I didn't get a chance to watch any of their coverage. But just pay attention about who's on the scene and who is not. Pay very close attention to that. I'm there. RNC, I'm there. Not on the outside, on the inside. I'm there. Okay. Yet another example is why you need to support alternative media, especially black-owned alternative media platforms such as this. Nathan Ivey with you. Much more to follow. We got to get to the choppers. I will read your chat. I'll take your phone calls, 513-873-7134. We'll talk about the options that Joe Deters, Hamilt County Prosecutor Joe Deters have. There could be some misinformation. I'll weed through that and give you some straight talk. Also, Dave Chappelle returns to television. It was beautiful. Some classic bits. And Donald Trump is scaling the hell out of people in this country. And they may have a good reason as to why. We shall discuss it. Will he be able to actually do all of these things? Think about this. You're going to build a wall on the southern border. You're going to create and fund a mass deportation task force. You're going to rebuild the infrastructure of America, make America great again. And you're going to rebuild the manufacturing base. I won't say it sounds good. It sounds ambitious. We shall discuss. This is the Nathan Ivey Show.
different face and posting on their feed. They're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do. Tell the world I see with an emoji to stop the bullies.
Know someone who's being bullied online? Send the witness emoji. It looks like an eye in a speech bubble, and it's in the symbol section near the clocks in your phone. You'll let the world know it isn't cool, and you'll let your friend know you care. Learn more about the witness emoji at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Key alert, don't ever play yourself. Life is like school. You will be tested, so pass it.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at GetSchooled.com.
Stay focused. Now that's a major key alert.
Brought to you by GetSchooled and the Ad Council.
Response to this sound. You're neutral to it. You hear it every time you finish a meal and never feel anything. But if we were able to associate this sound with a new stimulus, save the food, we've achieved pulling a natural response from you. Save the food. Why are we doing this, you may ask? Save the food. Because this ad is trying to change your after-meal behavior through brainwashing. Because food waste costs the average family $1,500 a year. Save the food, cha-ching, and $1,500 extra bucks is like getting a pay raise. Save the food, cha-ching, you're promoted, which could pay for your child's braces. Save the food, cha-ching, you're promoted.
Check out my braces.
So when you hear this sound, rethink your behavior. Cook it, store it, share it. Just don't waste it. For tips and recipes, visit SaveTheFood.com. Brought to you by NRDC and the Ad Council.
Now back to the show.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. This is the Nathan Ivey Show, broadcasting live from NathanIvey.com. And even over the weekend, I was connecting with listeners, folks who had no idea that I was on, which is so encouraging to me that we've been able to have this kind of success. And I would say that only a fraction of my previous audience even knows where we are. But I'm making efforts to deal with that. We'll bring them into the fold show to speak. Good morning to you. Currently 7:29 a.m. Today is Monday, November 14th, 2016. The Nathan Ivey Show is sponsored by UC Health. UC Health, Cincinnati's only academic health system. And not only are they sponsoring the sponsorship that you're hearing me read, but also a series of conversations with medical professionals and community activists, people who are, not the activists, but people who are concerned about our community, working in our community. And so stay connected. I'll let you know where you can hear those conversations here on the show. Let's get back into it, shall we? Someone wrote that the woman that was inconsolable in the street she broke down was Sam Dubose's daughter. Could you imagine? Condolences to his family and his friends. Yeah, black people have families. Yes, they have daughters. They actually love their children. Who would have thunk it? But enough of me, man. Enough of me. I got to get to the choppers. Yeah, I'll get to the choppers. I see Tonika is first inside the chop shop. I need some Chopper X music. Work with me, DJ. Here we go. Thank you. Yeah. Tonika, how you doing? She writes, good morning, Nate and the chopper. She was first inside the chop shop. Glad to have you, Tonika. She said, that's my spot. And I got it. Tiffany was a close second. She came in at 7:03 a.m. this morning. How you doing, Tiffany? Good morning to you. Good morning, Dante. He came in at 7:03. As did Carolyn. Good morning, Carolyn. What's up, Sluggo? Esquad affiliate salute. Grace, good morning, everyone. Tracy writes, hi. How you doing, Tracy? Good morning to you. Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Deanna. What up, Rico? Dale writes, good morning, Nate and the Hella Choppers. Absolutely. Good morning, Mike. What up, Ed? Cincy Tiger. She writes, good morning, N.I. and the Choppers. Junior, a.k.a. Harambe, writes, good morning, fam. Hashtag salute. Good morning, Choppers. Brown skin listening in. Still trying to recover. Oh, you mean from that devastating loss to the Dallas Cowboys? Well, they beat the Bengals as well, so I won't mess with you. It happens, Krutha. Deborah writes, morning. Pam writes, good morning, all. How you doing, Omar? What's up, Kiki? She writes, Irie, Mr. Ivy, hashtag Team and I and Choppers, and then 3 lips. Let that sink in. Don't be jelly. Don't be jelly. Speaking of Kiki, I ran into one of her family members. You've heard him here on this particular platform. The one and only Black Lion. And he was down to protest. And I don't know if I've not seen him at a lot of protests. I remember bringing this up to him a couple weeks ago. Like, are you going to go to the protest? I ain't going to no damn protest. But he was down there with his bullhorn, letting them have it. And we did a little bit of a conversation. And he was talking some nonsense. I had to cut that off real quick. But it was good to see the brother. Most deaf. He's like, Nate, why does your podcast say explicit, but I can't curse? Pat writes, good morning, y'all. What's up, Kashana? Casey writes, good morning, Chop Shop, sending positive vibrations from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Still in Arkansas. That's where you're from, right, Casey? I think she told me that. Bring that back, DJ. I like that. Jennifer writes, good morning, all. Jennifer writes, anyone see Dave Chappelle and Tribe Called Quest and SNL? They were amazing. Yes, they were. Absolutely. Damn, you got me Jones for some more Dave Chappelle. The brother left me wanting more. His opening monologue was hilarious, then he got serious. If you missed any of it, it's on the show page. I'm going to put more content on the show page because it has a higher capacity, quite honestly. I'll be straight with you. And I wish that there was a natural way in terms of just maneuvering the Facebook app and what they offer to transform the thousands of people who I'm friends with on my personal page to the show page. But there is not. Carolyn writes, yes, they were, Jennifer. Yes, they were. Tonika writes, Dave Chappelle was super funny this weekend. Yes, he was. It was hilarious. All the clips. That monologue was funny as hell. Just classic Dave. Will he come back? Come back, Dave. And replace Key and Peele. Does anybody think Key and Peele are actually funny? Any black people, anyway? I know white folks think they're hilarious. I don't know a lot of black folks that's like, Key and Peele. I had a friend who told me about Key and Peele. Is it Peele? See, I don't even know. And I know they got a bunch of awards in the last year or so. Hey, I'm happy for those brothers and their success, man. I'm not trying to take anything away from them. I'm just, they ain't Dave Chappelle. I'm just saying. Kruther writes, Trump's eyes look like the devil all day. Do they? Do they? Like the devil? That's deep. Speaking of Trump, I do have clips. Some short clips of his conversation on 60 Minutes. Love 60 Minutes. I grew up watching 60 Minutes with my grandparents, with my grandfather, my grandmother. And so even after they passed and as I became an adult, it was just something that I did. Now, there's a formula to their programming, and I've picked up on it. So I don't watch as much as I used to. Growing up with my grandparents on Sunday nights, it was religious. They watched 60 Minutes every Sunday. So I don't watch it every Sunday. I miss a lot, but they do some great interviews. I love that kind of investigative, face-to-face, one-on-one journalism. I love it. But Donald Trump confirmed his plans to build a wall. He's going to build a wall. That's exactly what we need, more division. We don't even need that kind of building a wall mentality. We don't need it. But check this out.
Some of the promises you made, and tell us if you're going to do what you said or you're going to change it in any way. Are you really going to build a wall?
Yes.
They're talking about a fence in the Republican Congress. Would you accept a fence?
For certain areas I would, but certain areas the wall is more appropriate. I'm very good at this. It's called construction. But
so part wall, part fence?
Yeah, it could be. There could be some fencing.
What about the pledge to deport millions and millions of undocumented immigrants?
What we are going to do is get the people that are criminal and have criminal records, gang members, drug dealers. We have a lot of these people, probably 2 million, it could even be 3 million. We're getting them out of our country or we're going to incarcerate. But we're getting them out of our country. They're here illegally. After the border is secured and after everything gets normalized, we're going to make a determination on the people that you're talking about who are terrific people. They're terrific people. But we're going to make a determination at that. But before we make that determination, Leslie, it's very important. We want to secure our border.
I don't think it's possible. Donald Trump is already backing away from a lot of his campaign promises. Are the people that elected Donald Trump, are they going to roll with him? He's backed away from saying he's absolutely going to gut the Obamacare. He said there's certain elements that we're going to keep. And already he's backed away from saying he's going to build a wall. He said he was going to build a big, beautiful, impenetrable wall. A fence? Man, I can build a fence. Are you telling me that he was elected president to build a damn fence? Talk about anticlimactic. Have you ever climbed a fence before? It's pretty easy. It's not too difficult. You ever heard of wire cutters? A fence and a wall are real different, man. It's different. Okay? A fence and a wall have less in common than a real penis and a dildo. I'm sorry. It's different. This man was elected to build a fence. Damn it, I can do that. You can do that. A fence, y'all. Have you heard the latest about some of the staff moves made by the Donald Trump administration? He's got a brand new chief of staff. Now, what does the White House chief of staff do? The White House chief of staff it has an immense role in the day to, number one, the White House chief of staff works closely with the president on a day-to-day basis, sets the agenda, also has key knowledge, probably even more so than the president, on determining who's going to work inside of the White House. Okay? Huge decision. Huge job. Reince Priebus, who was the Republican National Committee chairman. Makes sense. One of the chief advisors of Donald Trump is a man who a lot of people say really isn't really qualified. That he's got some, well, we'll put it this way, extreme views. He's got some extreme views. Some people are even calling him a white nationalist. A white nationalist in the White House. His name is Steve Bannon. He's the Breitbart News Network executive chairman. Have you ever gone to Breitbart News? Breitbart.com? Let's just say that when the birther movement was hot, they were one of the media partners that was promoting that nonsense. And he's 62 years old. He served as the CEO of the Trump campaign. I mean, when you win, as I've told you, when you're an elected official, when you're a candidate and you become an elected official, you win an election, you roll with the people who got you there. That's what I was telling you about Tracy Winkler. Do you think that now that Avtad Puraval, who has now been elected the Hamilton County Clerk of Courts, do you think that he's not going to put people that he don't know in key positions down there around him? If you think that, you're a damn fool. Democrat, Republican, Independent, Charter Right, or you fill in a blank and make up a new political party. That's what people do. That's what everybody does. If you were elected to a political position, you're going to be people in key places around you who helped you get there, one, and number two, that you know and trust, period. That's what they all do. That's what they all do. That's what they all do. We shall see. Will there be any diversity, whether it be in ideology or ethnic diversity, gender diversity in Donald Trump's cabinet? So far, all I see is white males. In terms of the names and the people who are getting positions, all I see is white males. I don't see anything different. That's what I see. So as America gets brown, the White House will be all white. It'll be on the white. It'll be white on the outside and the inside now. Welcome to Donald Trump's America. Cincinnati Tigris writes, private prison stocks are already up. Yes, they are. Yeah, the market's up too. You know why? Because the big money capitalists, they're waiting for Donald Trump to come through in his campaigns. What's that? That's right. Deregulation. That's right. So basically a system that's already been rigged for the winners in terms of capitalism, right, could be even more rigged for the big money capitalist. So what's the moral of the story? Well, the moral of the story is either A, become a big money capitalist, or B, get your ass out and vote. Simple as that. Every election has consequences, and now we've got to deal with these. We shall see. Dave Chappelle says that he's going to give Donald Trump a chance. So I'm going to give this man a chance. And I'm hoping that he gives us a chance. Did you see it? Did you see it? Dave Chappelle, he says he's going to give Donald Trump a chance. We don't have a choice but to give the man a chance. I mean, that's the sensible thing. I will say this, though. The coalition, the forces, the members of the electorate who did not vote for Donald Trump and really did not want Donald Trump to be in the White House, now they're being told by everybody in the media that we're all Americans. We're all Americans. We're all Americans. Let's give them a chance. But the Tea Party and the Republican Party never gave President Obama a chance. They never gave him a chance. They never gave him a chance. From day one and to the day today, they never gave the man a chance. There are white people, members of the electorate, who gave him no chance from day one. And they bought in with the birther nonsense and all the other, crazy conspiratorial ideas, right? He's not an American. He's a Manchurian candidate. We heard it all, didn't we? We heard it all. So basically now the members of the Republican Party want us to do what they would never do for President Barack Obama. Never. And if you doubt what I'm saying, as I sit here right now, if you can hear my voice, and again, here's my number, 513-873-7134. As I sit here right now, there is an open seat on the Supreme Court. Why is that seat open? Because the Republicans in Congress decided that they're not even going to consider allowing President Barack Obama. They're not even going to dignify his nomination. They won't even hear it. But yet now they're running around telling us and everyone's saying, well, we got to give Trump a chance. What? What? Very interesting. Very interesting. I've got some clips for you. Everybody's playing these clips of Dave Chappelle this morning. Everybody. Why? Because everybody misses Dave Chappelle. I mean, damn, that was some funny ass television. How long was he on? Like 2 or 3 years? I wish he would come back. He walked away from the money because he said he didn't want to mess up his legacy. And I get it, because some sitcoms and television shows, they go on and just they jump the shark and just keep on going.
Trump was going to
check this out.
Win the election. I did suspect it. Seemed like Hillary was doing well in the polls, and yet I know the whites. Some more shootings than I can literally count. You can't even go to the goddamn zoo without seeing a shooting nowadays. They shot a gorilla in my local zoo. And the Cincinnati police said shooting that gorilla was the toughest decision this department ever had to make. I said, well, you about to see a lot of in gorilla costumes in Cincinnati.
Shout it out, Cincinnati.
Have to say that Black Lives Matter. Now, I admit that is not the best slogan, but McDonald's already took "You deserve a break today." And I guess it's kind of catchy because everyone else is biting it. Even the police bite it. Blue Lives Matter. What was you, born a police? That is not a blue life. That's a blue suit. If you don't like it, take that suit off, find a new job. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I could quit being black today, I'd be out the game. I don't know what he's going to do. But I know Obama did a good job. Obama did a good job. I'm wishing Donald Trump luck. And I'm going to give him a chance. And we, the historically disenfranchised, demand that he give us one too. Thank you very much.
Hey guys. It's a great flow right there. It's a great flow. He shouted out Cincinnati. That was kind of interesting. I love, see, in comedy, that's what I loved about Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle. This is what I don't like about Kevin Hart. And again, I talk about what I know, not what I think. Before Kevin Hart got super huge, I had the pleasure of interviewing him and I believe it was Earthquake. They were in Cincinnati. And Bush was in office, I believe, at that particular time. Or maybe Obama was about to come in office. I don't recall the time frame. And I asked him a question about politics. And you should have seen his face. I don't talk no politics. I mean, he's upfront about it now. I mean, he makes a joke about it. I don't talk no politics. And the reason is because by being apolitical, as I've told you before, part of the condition in terms of accepting black political candidates for some white people and some black entertainers is that they appear to be above race and that they appear to be above politics. Okay? For me, the funniest comedy or those comics who are so clever in weaving in issues that we're so uncomfortable to talk about and making us laugh about it. And that's what I think Dave Chappelle did in that monologue. He was right about the Cincinnati police. Oh, it was the toughest decision. That was a tough decision? That was a tough decision? He was hilarious about that. It's very hilarious. Same thing with Chris Rock. Chris Rock was an expert in talking about racial issues and some of the divisions and turning it and twisting it and making us laugh at it and also making a point without turning the audience completely off. Those are the best comics to me. Just like to me, the best MCs out there, the best rappers are rappers that actually talk about something that matters. I don't have a Bugatti. And if I did, it's just a car. But what do you think? Here's my number, 513-873-7134. Let's go to the phones. Caller, good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Nathan Ivey and the good people of Cincinnati.
How you doing, John?
Sounds like I just tuned in. It sounds like you had a problem with Saturday Night Live.
No.
The lead, was that okay with you? Did you like kind of?
I loved it, man. I loved it. I'm jonesing for more Dave Chappelle now, man. It was beautiful.
Oh yeah, I mean, I thought. I watched it, and I thought it was pretty good in the statements he made. He was able to put comedy and seriousness on what's going on across the country, but you saw the way he ended with his dialogue. Let's give Trump a chance, but I don't think these kids out there protesting is going to buy into that part of it.
They may not.
But it was pretty good. But let's play, just before we play Monday morning quarterback, I'm happily glad to know my Dallas Cowboys is still marching on. Oh, that was a good game yesterday.
I missed it, actually. Cowboys and Steelers?
No, you got to see the highlights of that. That was a good game. But that was very good. So I'm glad my Cowboys lost. Disappointed my New England Patriots lost. But you're hearing it from me here right now, Mr. Nathan Ivey. Who's going to be in the Super Bowl? Dallas and New England. You're hearing it now before it happens.
Well, that's not too much of a stretch, though, man. I mean, New England, they're perennially, favorites to go to the Super Bowl. And now Dallas, who's going to beat them in the NFC? Did Seattle win last night?
Nobody's going to beat Dallas. I mean, if it holds up, nobody gets hurt. Or buying no injuries or anything. And Romo, I think they stated his schedule. He's ready to come back. He's been playing, but the owner stated last night, we're going with the hot hand. We're not going to change much. Romo will be the backup.
Well, I don't like him saying hot hand because that implies that it might get cold. It's Dak Prescott's team right now, and that's just what it is. Romo, sit your ass down and school this young boy on the sidelines and be a good team member. That's what he should do.
I mean, this kid, I was reading, I don't know if I mentioned to you, I was reading some things about him a couple of months ago. And this kid, at the school he went to, I forgot what the name of that school, someplace in the Midwest, West Coast, they said they prepared him for NFL life. He knew the schemes, the defenses. They properly prepared him for NFL life. I think that school he went to, he broke every record there, passing and everything else. But they prepared him mentally, physically, and it's showing. It's showing, which is pretty good. Well, let's see how this all plays out. Let's play Monday morning quarterback from this election. Now that we know what we know, Monday morning, and the dirt is coming out about, Hillary, I told you, Hillary had baggage. Yes, that's number one. But, if you look at this with the FBI getting involved, not indict, that didn't help either, as well as the Russians' involvement. But now we're finding out, I heard Jesse Jackson over the weekend, and then I said, well, let me check this out. Jesse Jackson made some statements over the weekend that thousands of votes across the country were thrown out. And they were playing games. Here we go again. Does it sound like Al Gore and George Bush again? Interesting. But what's going to happen? Nothing. Nothing's going to happen. If it was buffoonery going on with those votes, don't expect the Justice Department or Barack Obama to do anything. They're not going to do anything. There lies the problem with this country, and hey, Trump's in there. We can't do nothing about it. It is what it is. I'd like to hear your assessment.
Well, that is an issue that's being underreported. The media would rather focus on black people not voting than reporting on the fact that black people's votes were disenfranchised. You're absolutely right about that. Secondly, I think the moral of the story, though, is that the Democratic National Committee didn't spend enough time connecting with all of the electorate, and in particular, working class, white people. They didn't do enough time. They spent more time saying, listen, he's a clown, he's a buffoon, we can't allow him to have the nuclear codes, than they did talking about what Hillary Clinton specifically was going to do for the electorate. And that perhaps is a mistake.
Well, I agree with you 100% on your assessments on there. I was reading a reporter's website, and he talked about the biggest loser out of the election is both, and yes, I do agree with you, the Democrats as well as the Republicans. They're the big losers. So the Republicans have to deal with Trump as much as they don't want to deal with him. It's all about negotiations when you get in those back rooms, this and that. But Trump seems like, from that 60 Minutes as well as some of the things he's been saying since he won the presidency, he's sticking to the guns on what he wants. So Republicans, even though they control the House and the Senate, Trump is not a Republican. So I don't know why people think he's a Republican. He's not. And this is where the Republicans don't want to deal with him, because they can't control him, and he's going to do what he wants to do, which is going to piss off the Republican parties. The Democrats, well, as you stated, they're lost in time. They're scrambling over the weekend. They need to put a whole new Democrat committee. Come on. These characters, Dean and some of these guys that want to take over the Democrat Party, everything stays the same. Nothing changes.
Yeah, especially when people like you don't get out and vote, John. But thanks for the call, brother. Appreciate you, man. Take it easy.
All right.
Yeah, that's Brother John. He is obsessed with politics, but doesn't vote. I won't go there. We've been in there so many times. Shout out to Kiki. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, Kiki. I've already changed it. Appreciate it. If you ever see any misspellings, I'm not ashamed at all. Any misspellings, anything that's incorrect, please let me know, because I want to look good on the internet at all times. I appreciate you, Kiki. Absolutely. See, some people let you look crazy out here and won't say nothing. I'm not like that. And I'm glad to see that other folks aren't like that as well. Thank you very much. John's line is now available, 513-873-7134, if you want to dial into the show. All I ask is that you open your mind before you open your mouth. That's it. Other than that, it's all good. I want to get your thoughts about, well, do you believe what should happen next in the Sam Dubose Ray Tinsing trial? As I understand it, and please disabuse me of my folly if I'm wrong, because I don't want to be incorrect on the microphone. As I believe that there's three options that Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Deters has at his disposal. He could decide not to retry Ray Tinsing, and that's it. It's over. Ray Tinsing goes back to his private life. In fact, hey, maybe he gets another job in law enforcement. He could decide to retry Ray Tinsing with this jury with the same charges. Or he could decide to retry Ray Tinsing with a new jury, disband this jury, go through the whole process again with all new charges. Those are the three options that Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Deters has on his table right now. He's got options. We all want to have options. Which option should he choose, in your opinion? And I think for most people, it's going to come down to what we all believe. I believe that Ray Tinsing should be retried, even if they believe they're going to lose, because it sets the right standard. It sends the right message. As I was downtown on Saturday, I ran into some folks who said that they felt like already the fix was in. That Joe Deters, Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Deters, the man who was reelected in Hamilton County this week, think about that. He wins re-election, And within 7 days, the Ray Tensing trial is brought to an end, at least this trial. Did the Ray Tensing trial, did the fact that Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Deters was involved so intimately, did that help him win re-election? A smart move, isn't it? A very smart move. Politics is a game of chess. But I think, in my opinion, Ray Tensing should be retried. The only question is, are they going to retry him with this same jury? Do you trust this current jury under the same charges? Or are they going to present evidence to a whole new jury and maybe go for negligent homicide? I know that the former Hamilton County prosecutor, a man by the name of Mike Allen, who lost his job because he was chasing one of his female subordinates around his desk with a lampshade on his head with no pants on. Well, no, not really, but he was pushing up on one of his female subordinates for that ill nana. I even read through the court documents. Yeah. Nasty. And he had a wifey. Yeah. I'm sure wifey wasn't too happy about that one. And you're the Hamilton County prosecutor, a true blue conservative in a town like Cincinnati? It was scandalous, y'all. Scandalous. Scandalous. I don't revel in it, but I do enjoy the drama. It was scandalous. And now he's a legal expert for local news here. But he let Joe Deters, well, people say let him have it. I mean, he criticized him. He said, listen, I don't understand why Joe Deters even tried to go after murder charges. It was going to be very hard. This is the former Hamilton County prosecutor now saying this. White dude. I don't know if he's Republican or not, but I want to say yes, he is. Okay. And I believe he was Hamilton County prosecutor again. Disabuse me of my folly. I believe that Mike Allen, former Hamilton County prosecutor, was a prosecutor 16 years ago when we had the social unrest. And a decision was made to not allow any plea deals with any of the people that were arrested, okay, involved with those street movements, which I thought was damn disgusting. Because plea deals are an integral part of what they do down there at the courthouse. If they stop giving plea deals, the system would grind to a halt. We don't have enough jails. We don't have enough space in our jails. But it was Hamilton County clamping down and showing their displeasure for people hitting the streets. I understand it. Thought it was unfair. So he was a prosecutor. If I'm wrong, set me straight. 513-873-7134. Disabuse me of my folly. If I'm right, keep listening. So he took current Hamilt County prosecutor Joe Deters to the woodshed. It's like, I don't know what Joe was thinking. So it seems to suggest that perhaps the smart move might be, if in fact Joe Deters is serious about getting a conviction of Ray Tensing on something, would be to get a new jury, represent the evidence, and this time go for lesser charges, but charges that are probably maybe more fitting to the scenario. How would you feel about that? I think a lot of folks want to see Ray Tensing brought to justice and go to jail for something. Can he get 6 months? Damn, some kind of time for killing this unarmed black man? This unarmed citizen? And as I was speaking with the people down at the courthouse on Saturday, some folks there was a whisper, throughout the crowd that perhaps this idea that it's going to be too expensive to retry Ray Tensing, it's going to cost $1 million. It's going to cost millions of dollars to go after this man and we might lose. Well, pump your brakes, Hamilton County. How many millions of dollars did the Hamilton County Republican Party and its surrogates, its acolytes, right, friends of, who work in county government, prosecutor, right? How many millions of dollars did they spend of Hamilton Countyans' tax dollars in order to persecute, not prosecute, persecute? That was a persecution of former juvenile court judge Tracy Hunter. They spent millions, damn it, millions. They spent millions going to court trying to deny the fact that they would recount votes that people righteously voted for this woman. But now you want to talk about the cost? Oh, now you want to be good stewards of tax dollars? Ultimately, Tracy Hunter was convicted because she gave her brother a piece of paper, a document that, as I understood it, he could have gotten with a simple Freedom of Information request. which means it's legal. She wasn't accused of murdering anybody. But yet she was trotted out as if she was public enemy number one. You think I'm going to forget this? Hell to the no. I'll never forget it. I won't let you forget it. But now they want to talk about cost? 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 You want to talk? There is no price of justice. Sam Dubose will never be able to hug his family ever again. His family will never be able to hug him. A citizen's life has no value whatsoever. And now they're even considering it. It shouldn't even be a debate. Members of the media, okay, need to call Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Deters out if he even brings it up. Like, well, I don't know. You don't know. You don't know. Well, I don't know if we can win the case. Since when has that ever been a motive? Since when has that ever been a decision-making, the factor in making a decision about whether you're going to prosecute somebody for murdering someone? What world are we living in, folks? You tell me. You tell me. So what should Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Deters do? Again, he's got three options. He can drop this and say, listen, it's over. How would you feel about that? You'll feel damn disgusted, won't you? And for the folks who didn't vote, you'll feel like you got played. Or he can retry Ray Tensing with this particular jury and go after the same charges. Maybe they present some different evidence. I don't believe that Ray Tensing was dragged at all. You can look at, I don't see nobody getting dragged. Were there scuff marks? No. Then he didn't get dragged. Or they can say, listen, new jury, new charges, perhaps lesser charges, maybe something like negligent homicide, reckless endangerment, reckless homicide. Again, I'm no expert on the terms here. But as I understand it, those are the options. What do you think should happen? Tanika writes that Dave Chappelle was super funny this weekend. Yes, he was. I may have read that. Damien writes, how about Trump's response to racist acts being carried out in his name? Simply to say, stop it. I got a good laugh out of that one. Yeah. He was asked a question about all the racist things that are happening in his name. Like, children in the lunchroom chanting, build a wall, build a wall. See, we don't need that kind of mentality in the top spot. You got people, against students, chanting white power, holding pro-Donald Trump signs as they walk through the school. I mean, some of these people are just trolls. I mean, there's some people out there that delight in irritating and getting under the skin of other people. That's what some of these people are doing. And Donald Trump looks into the camera and says, stop it. Okay, yeah. Just say no to drugs. That worked. That works. Next hour, this hour, shall I say, during the 8 o'clock hour, I want to talk about the potential fallout for Black America, for brown America, Black and brown America together, if Donald Trump, in fact, goes through with his idea of a mass deportation force. Number one, you got to ask yourself, how are they going to find these individuals? Donald Trump has already said he believes in stop and frisk. If you believe for 1 second that Black America will not be touched, okay, by those efforts, you are, in fact, a damn fool. You better wake up this morning. How are you going to find these individuals? You can go house by house? Is it going to be like a whisper campaign? Is it going to be 1-800-illegal alien? 1-800-drop-a-dime on an illegal? And maybe you can get some kind of financial enticements or something like that? $1,000 if you drop a dime on somebody you know that's illegal. Would you call? Kelly writes, saw the pic of you and Black Lion. And then, yeah. Yeah, B's a little fella. He's a little fella. And what I found in my life is that it's a lot of little fellas out there that talk big. A lot of them. I think it's a little fella thing. Napoleonic complex. I'm not sure what it is. But he's a good dude nonetheless. As long as you got to tame him. You got to keep him inside a certain confine. But yeah, it was good to see him nonetheless. He was down there letting him have it with his bullhorn. It was funny. Dale writes, Joe Deters is not going to retry the case because he's already complaining about how much money it will cost Hamilton County. But I find it ironic that he is concerned about Hamilton County spending when he could give a damn about how much it is costing Hamilton County prosecuting Judge Tracy Hunter. Great minds think alike. Rhonda writes, he is wrong county to assume because Hamilton County didn't vote for Donald Trump. Keith C. writes, good morning. Mike writes, good morning. Ms. D. writes, greetings, Nate. I can't watch the Cosby Show again. Says America is cool with men that abuses women. I'm with you. I got my problem with the Cosby Show, too. Should I show my daughter or not? Let's go back to the phones. Good morning, caller. How are you? Welcome.
I'm good, King, and you?
I'm doing great. What's going on?
It's all good. It's great.
Who is this?
You asked me if this Black Lion.
Oh, what's up?
My voice sounds different.
Yeah. You let them have it down there, huh?
Cussed out every pink man I could find, damn it. Everyone.
Did you say every pink man?
Yeah, every pink man.
That's hilarious.
Hey, bro, I saw Scotty Johnson and that fat-ass donut-eating cop, interim chief. I hope you can understand me.
I understand, yeah. You saw Scotty down there?
Silly. Yeah, they was down there. I cussed them out, too, bro. I let them have it right there in front of their white officers. The white officers started smiling at them because they knew it was true. You the white man's Mitch. You working for him. You picking cotton. So Scotty got a little upset. But I called him out in front of him, though, like, bring your ass over here, because he was going to try to walk away. Hey, where you going? You see I'm standing here. Don't let these white people punk you out. But, again, that reminded me of something, listening to you, thinking of Scotty. You mentioned Napoleon complex. You big tough brother suckers, man. It was only the little brother saying something to white folks. It was only the little brother saying something. And youngsters, teenagers, all you 6'5" brothers, punked out. All you big boss brothers, hold out. All you ones been in the military with guns and police training, hold out. Went straight the other way, bruh. Wouldn't say nothing. Y'all held microphones and cameras and walked home. You wouldn't even throw a spitball or even a harsh word or even a harsh, grim look at a white man. Y'all just took it around, man. Start talking about who's going to be playing on the next damn game, bruh.
Clearly you're delusional. Clearly you're delusional.
I'm delusional.
Clearly.
Everybody could watch your footage. They could see what you did. They could see what you said. Absolutely nothing. Period. So my question is, I'm at the point like, what's wrong with our sisters, bro? Why won't sisters keep raising these weak-ass men, bro? What's up with them? Why sisters won't choke one of them to death because they know damn well he going to grow up to be a weak-ass man? Who need a 6'5" weak-ass brother? Who need that?
Well, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question since you're so super tough and strong. Since you want to go there.
Let me make one last point, and you can ask me your question. Who needs the brother that goes off and learn all kind of military training, but only use it for the benefit of white folks?
You done?
Who need that?
You done?
Expert grenade thrower, expert shot. But the only thing you're doing is serving white interests. You'll go kill for white folks, but you won't even kill for your own damn mama.
I'm not sure who you talk about when you say you. I'm not sure who you mean.
Well, I know
you're not talking about me, but I think you mean that in general. Okay, I got you.
You didn't even join the Boy Scouts, brother. So I ain't talking.
Oh, that's the litmus test now. Join the Boy Scouts.
No, brother. I'm just saying. I know you wouldn't even join that. Let alone a Marine.
Hey, in fact, I was a Weebelo, actually. I was a Weebelo. I wasn't a Boy Scouts, actually.
Quit lying.
But let me get back to your point, Mr. Super Tough Guy that's cussing out white folks. I didn't see you. Did you get arrested?
What you say?
I said, did you get arrested?
They wasn't arresting nobody, man.
Okay.
Talk about that.
And the reason why they weren't getting arrested, and the reason why you didn't get arrested, and I was there right next to you, since you want to go there, is because when I saw you in the crowd, there were a lot of people like minutes before that were in front of Main Street. They were like blocking the streets because there was some brothers out there that was trying to force a confrontation. Did you see that, Black Lion?
No.
Okay, you didn't see that. But it's on the video. You can find the video on YouTube right now. Nathan Ivy. And check it out for yourself.
When the police first came up the street.
Yeah, when the police, when they rolled up on their bicycles, there was some people that were blocking Main Street.
I was there.
Okay, so you did see that then.
And the one brother who's in the street like, arrest me then.
Yeah, arrest me. Right. Okay, so what happened? He didn't get arrested because some other brothers pushed him to the side and got him out of the street.
Man, if he was going to arrest his ass, there's 55,000 cops.
The reason why he didn't get arrested is because there was some other brothers. Listen, I let you talk. You talk. I was a gracious old. Now it's my turn. Do you understand that?
Let me answer what you said.
I'll answer all of your questions when I finish this flow. Or can you understand it?
No, brother. Let you finish.
I will answer all of your questions when I finish this flow. So the reason why that brother didn't get arrested, and I didn't want to necessarily see him get arrested, but again, I've said many times before, I respect the people that's really to get arrested for the cause and make that kind of public statement. The reason why he didn't get arrested and the reason why the police were there in the first place is because the protests were blocking Main Street. I didn't see you out there blocking. Wait. I didn't see you out there blocking Main Street. You was on the sidewalk with a bullhorn talking ish. Because when the police officers, and they were all white police officers, told people to get out the street, guess what happened? It was only a couple brothers out there that was out there in the street. And you weren't one of them. You was on the sidelines talking ish from the safety of the sidewalk with your bullhorn, calling them names.
You was on the sidelines filming me talking ish.
Well, I'm a member of the media. That's why I was there.
Well, let me finish, brother. Let me finish.
Yeah, okay, I thought so.
The brother didn't get arrested because of that BS you just said. Mm-hmm. He didn't get arrested because they could have arrested him 1,000 times, but they didn't.
So what does that say about the police?
Let me finish, brother. Let me finish.
What does that say about him?
He told them to arrest him, and they wouldn't because they knew it would have been a BS charge to try to keep. He would have got off.
So what does that tell you? The police were down there doing what?
As soon as he got in the courtroom, they would have said, those were charged with disorderly conduct.
Either way, I didn't see you out there putting yourself in harm's way.
I was enacting in all kinds.
You was on the sidelines doing what the police told you like a good Negro with your bullhorn and got the nerve to try to call me out, please. I was there. I saw it all with my own eyes, bro.
Disorderly conduct. You was exercising orderly conduct.
Yeah. You were so disorderly that you did everything the police told you to do. They didn't tell you to stop talking. They told you not to block Main Street, and you didn't take your ass out there, did you?
He wouldn't have to tell me to do that. I had a little girl. I wasn't standing in the street with my daughter.
Exactly then. So don't act like you was down there ready to turn all the way up. You was down there to do what you did. Talk-ish.
I was just as disorderly as everybody else.
No, you weren't as disorderly as the brother that was about to get arrested.
Except for you. Why wouldn't I get arrested, bro?
I said that you were not as disorderly as the brother who was down there about to get arrested.
They had
I thought, and it was him and it was another. It was two brothers down there. They was like, nah, fighting back people trying to get them out of the street, and you was being a good Negro with your bullhorn, being safe.
I seen them.
You saw them. That's right. You seen them, but you didn't join them.
Nevertheless, what does that mean, bro? Nobody got arrested regardless of what.
I'm just telling you, man. I mean, my point is telling you is that.
My point is this.
Do you think when you start pointing fingers at me, I'm gonna point fingers right? You know me, bro. You know how I roll.
You didn't stand in the street. You didn't say nothing.
That's not why I was there.
You wouldn't even have a conversation.
That's not why I was there. What I told those brothers. What I told those brothers is get out of the street, man. If you're going to get arrested, get arrested. Can I finish it? What I told those brothers is the same thing I'll tell the brothers tomorrow, the same thing I'll tell you. Get out of the street, bro. If you're going to get arrested for a purpose.
That's what you're going to tell them, right?
No, I just told you what I told them. Now you're going to get wild because I called you out. Don't get mad.
I ain't mad, bro, because you was the one looking like an old soft-ass 6'5" buster, not me.
That make you feel better to call me out?
Why you looking at little short people?
And you was looking like a 5 foot short ass, soft ass buster.
Man,
now,
be real, bro.
I just was real with you.
Your hands was shaking, holding your little hand,
you wish my hands was shaking, brother. Listen, I've been in far. Listen, that was your first time in the protest, Black Lion. I've been down there many times. I've been down there many times, brother. Shaking my hands. You don't know who you talking to, brother. Listen, you don't know who you talking to, man. That's not the first time I've been in the heat of the moment. That's the first time I ever seen you.
You've never been in a protest. You've been at a protest. Hell, my mama been at a protest, but you ain't never been in one.
Quit lying. That's the first time you ever been there.
You're just a spectator like the old white woman was there watching. Just like the rest of the white media.
I got you, bro. Anything else, man, you want to be wrong about?
White media. Let's not get sidetracked. You'd rather argue with me and watch Honky Ball than deal with the fact of it.
Honky Ball? What's that? You a nut, man. But listen, always know that when you come with me, I'm going to keep you correct, man. I'm going to hold you down. Always. Always.
Man, you disown me, man. I'm thinking I got this big brother by me. If the cops look at me, they gonna look at this big brother behind me. Like,
if anything would have came out, I would have shielded you, brother. Believe me, I would have had your back.
Your ass ran at the first sight of violence. You ran like a hoe, bro. Get out of here.
Yeah,
hey,
clearly you don't know me. But listen, brother, I appreciate it, man. It's been very entertaining. Anything else?
Nah, I love you, bro. You have a good day.
Take it easy, man. That dude is nuts, man. What is wrong with B, man? Clearly, you don't know me that well, bruh. I'm that dude. Believe me. That ain't the first time I've been there. It won't be the last time I've been there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. What is wrong with this world? What is wrong with this world? That dude's nuts. I came back from the RNC, right? I ran into some brothers like, Nate, don't go up there by yourself, man. Anything could happen. Like what? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What are they going to do? They're going to arrest me? Well, let's go. But just to make sure you understand correctly, when I was there, I'm telling the brothers that if you're going to get arrested for a purpose, man. Get arrested for a real reason. Okay, if you're going to make a statement and get incarcerated overnight over the weekend, do it for a grand reason. Don't do it for something small and silly. That's what I told the brothers. Okay, and that's what I'll tell them tomorrow and the day before that and the day after that and the day after. That's just me. If you want to get arrested, I respect it, man. We need people that's willing to be civilly disobedient. Okay, to push the media, to make the media focus on what went down, to maybe reach a larger audience. But don't get arrested for something small and silly. Okay, that's all I'm saying. How dare he try to call me out? And as I said, it was some brothers down there ready to go to jail. That wasn't Black Lion. He was talking ish from the sidelines with a bullhorn from the safety of the sidewalk. Keep it all the way real with you. My work is never done. What can I say? This is the Nathan Ivey Show. Currently 8:17 a.m. in the Queen City. I need to... woosah. The show and the flow continues right after this.
Hi, I found a toy dinosaur over on the playground by Smith Street. It had this phone number on it, and, well, I just wanted to make sure the dinosaur made it back to its little owner.
Yeah, hi. I think I found your kid's stuffed animal near the swing set. Just want to call. I'm sure she misses it.
I know my son gets super attached to the smallest things, even a fire truck, and I'd be happy to drop it off. The toy was a little muddy, so I cleaned it up, and it's good to go whenever you're around.
When I found the little sippy cup, I just had to give you a call. It's for a kid, you know?
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger and give all of our kids the meals they need to grow. Learn how at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the
Today we decided to walk to school. At the corner, we waited to cross the street. The stoplight counted down. 15, 14, 31, 13. We took a left on Carroll Garden Street. Garden Street? Loud music was coming from a car. Danny's a smart kid, but he gets so distracted. There were so many other sounds, I didn't know what to focus on. Danny, Earth to Danny. Suddenly, he realized he forgot his homework again. I left my homework on the table. At the school steps, we hugged goodbye. I really hope he doesn't have another bad day at school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side.
That's why there's Understood.org, a free online resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Get personalized recommendations, practical tips, daily access to experts, and more. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org. Brought to you by Understood and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school? Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions? No. Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school? Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul. No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework. Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review? No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized. I think I understand. Oh, good. Finding best potatoes for French fries. No! Russet. Fingerling. Yukon Gold. Why don't you understand me? Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to Understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore Understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by Understood.org and the Ad Council.
Good morning, everyone. Currently 8:22 a.m. in the Queen City. Nathan Ivey with you, NathanIvey.com. This is the Nathan Ivey Show, sponsored by UC Health. UC Health, Cincinnati's only academic health system. And if you check out the podcast via the my page on Spreaker, I'm now including bookmarks to all of our conversations. So if you want to start the conversation with a particular call, maybe you want to hear our sponsorships, our advertisements, or maybe you hear me flowing on a particular topic, or I'm reading text or chat from the choppers, you can start the podcast wherever you like. Wherever you like. And please help me grow this platform. Just tell one person about the show today. NathanIvey.com. Maybe send them a link. If you know somebody that's a fan of talk radio, if you know someone who used to listen to me when I was at my former station, let them know. And they're not sure where I am now. Let them know. They can listen live every morning via my website, NathanIvey.com. They can listen live on the TuneIn app. Yeah, TuneIn Radio. We're right there. I know a lot of folks may listen to a Roland Martin on TuneIn Radio. I'm with Roland on there. Now, you can find me there on as well. Listen to the show live every single day. If you want to check out the podcast, iTunes. I'm on iTunes, Stitcher, you name it, I'm there. I'm on all the major podcast directories. And we're growing every single day, every single day. Shannon writes, good morning, friends. Good morning to you, Shannon. Always welcome. Welcome back. Jared writes, what's good this morning? Hashtag team and I, everything, man. Great to be alive. Great to be alive. And what I want to focus on in terms of the first 100 days of the Trump administration is answering this question. Can black people thrive? Can black and brown people, can we thrive? Okay. And not just black and brown people. How do we? Can we thrive in the Trump administration? I believe we can. I believe we can. Not only can you survive the Trump administration, you can thrive in the Trump administration. Okay. So in the days and weeks to follow, I want to spend more time talking about that. I'm reaching out already over the weekend to so-called experts in particular fields to come on and share information. But at this point, we don't know what a Trump administration is really going to be like. We don't know what it's really going to feel like, per se. We got a tiny window, less than a week away from becoming president-elect. But I think the smartest move for me to do, what I'm really focused on is how do we not just survive, but how do we thrive? How do we come up in the age of Donald Trump? Okay, so keep listening for that. Dale writes, somehow I pictured Black Lion to be a short guy, and I was correct. But Black Lion seemed to be a cool brother. Yes, he is. When he's on point, he is a cool brother. Jared writes, Dave Chappelle was great on SNL. Yes, he was. Hilarious, man. Did you see the skit he did? If you're a fan of The Walking Dead, and you saw the premiere, the season opener of this particular season, then you know just how hilarious that was. That was a hilarious bit. And he brought back all of the characters, all of his characters, all in one skit. It was genius. I loved it. Damn. Listen, I would like to give whoever Key and Peele and come back with some Dave Chappelle. That's just me. Tiffany writes, the fact that the family was not given time to get there was so disrespectful. That judge rubbed me the wrong way. Even when the jurist asked a question about arrest, she seemed irritated and didn't answer them. Well, I'm with you on that. In terms of the disrespect to the family, here's what I mean. If you had somebody who was on trial for killing a Cincinnati police officer, you better damn well believe that they would make sure that the family got proper notice and proper time to make it, to be in the jury. All right, to be in the courtroom, okay, when a decision is made. You better believe it. I don't believe anything other than that. And that's just another example of how blue lives matter. That was funny what Dave Chappelle said. Blue lives? What are you, born police? He said Black Lives Matter wasn't that good of a slogan, but it must be good enough because everybody's stealing it. Not only have white people culturally appropriated black styles of dress, our walk, what we eat, how we dance, our music, but now our political campaigns, grassroots movements, they have. You got people running around talking about Blue Lives Matter. And you have Donald Trump supporters and people on Fox News talking about change, we need change. Wait a minute. I've heard that before. Where was that? Oh, yeah, 8 years ago, the Obama campaign. The cultural appropriation continues. It continues. Damn it, right, folks? Fame Up writes, and good morning to you, Fame Up, writes, what a weekend. The Tensing trial and the football was marvelous. I love the Black Lion. Dude brings good energy to shows. Brian writes, morning. Fame writes, how do you know I'm 40 now? Question mark. Listen to Nathan on the phone and watching Mike and Mike on TV. I can't take today's music. LOL. I'm not sure. He must be responding to somebody else. Tracy writes, they said on the news that was one of his daughters that was in the street crying. I mean, if that was my family members, it'd be me too. You know me. I show my emotions, period. You can think what you want to think, period. I am a real man, flesh and blood, with emotions. When my son was born, I wept on the air uncontrollably. And so what? You don't like it? And so what? That's me. Period. So I did not know that. That makes it even more heartbreaking. It really does. It makes it even more heartbreaking. Even more heartbreaking. Robin writes, good morning, everyone. Mr. Holly writes, good morning. As I said, I ran into Yvette Simpson. I didn't get a chance to interview her because she was talking to other folks and I was trying to catch folks as well. And I thought I might get a chance to catch up with her later, but then I just kind of lost track with her. But, she was there. And you know me, it says something. It says something that she was there and willing to, at least in person, lend, her time. Okay, I didn't get a chance to interview her. Who else was there that I saw? I'm not saying that anybody else wasn't there. I'm just talking about who I saw. And this was at right outside the courthouse. This was not at what happened at Washington Park later on, many hours later. Okay, because then you had the coming together of two movements, the movement for justice for Sam Dubose and also the anti-Trump protesters. Because, everything, Cincinnatians are so civilized and orderly. We don't just hit the streets. We've got to ask for permission. Can we get a permit, sir, please? Then we hit the streets. How dare the Black Lion try to call me out? What's wrong with this brother? He knows I was right there and watched all of it. The hell? These little fellas out here. Brian writes, can you imagine the reaction if President Obama had named Farrakhan chief of staff or part of his White House cabinet? It would have been a revolution. It would have been. You're right about that. Great point, Brian. Reince Priebus. I mean, if that's a hip hop name, it sounds pretty cool. I'm not sure what rhymes with Reince. Reince. Help me. What rhymes with Reince? Priebus? Cebus? I'm sorry. I'm drawing a blank here. Reince Priebus, right? And he was he still is now, but he's in transition now. He served as the Republican Party chairman. And now he is going to be the White House chief of staff. The White House chief of staff. And the CEO, or maybe he's the editor-in-chief, should I say. The executive chairman, that is, Steve Bannon with Breitbart News. And he himself has been accused of anti-Semitism. He's going to be named the chief strategist and senior counsel for President-elect Donald Trump. And what I've heard about this particular man, Steve Bannon, is not good. And I hate to stereotype people, but he's got this kind of look. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Who else? Will there be any people of color? Will there be any women? Will there be any diversity? Or will the people inside of the White House resemble the outside of the White House completely? That's what it's looking like. So as America becomes more brown, the White House becomes more white. You know, I speak the truth. I speak my mind. I speak my mind. But enough of me. Let's go back to the choppers here.
Go! Get to the chopper!
Okay, I will. Deborah writes, Nate, I watched your live broadcast of the courthouse Saturday. According to the news, the woman who collapsed is one of Sam Dubose's daughters. Also, I watched SNL, and Dave Chappelle was on point. Kush writes, the number one chopper checking in from the Smoky Mountains. All right, have fun, Kush. You vacay? Work? Lawrence writes, good morning, Brother Nate. Good morning to you, Lawrence. Tiffany writes, good morning, everyone. Rhonda writes, back from Chicago, and I'm telling you, the protest was real. They wouldn't let the residents park their cars in the Trump Towers. Rhonda writes, Keenan and Kel. No, I know Keenan and Kel. I'm talking about Key and Peele. Is it Key and Peele or Key and Peele? They had a show on Comedy Central. Brian writes, they are corny. Yeah, they are, to me. Damien writes, they are corny. They have all those ha-ha funny moments, but nothing that leaves you on the floor, right? Yeah, they don't. They have a few moments that make you chuckle, but they don't make you just go straight to the floor. When I was watching Dave Chappelle, man, there was some moments where I was just absolutely on the floor, literally. Fame Up writes, Leslie Stahl has smoker's teeth. She trying to hold on to a 1978 beauty. What? Why you say that, man? Oh, man. Oh, even Adrian Bronner thinks that's funny. Deborah writes, Steve Bannon is going to be a real problem for us. Could be. Breitbart News was not flattering toward Barack Obama at all. They whipped the fury, the frenzy. They're calling it the alt-right. The alt-right. Also, did you see the interaction between Van Jones and I believe her last name is Buchanan? They were on one of the Sunday morning shows. I've got the audio for you. They went at it. It got personal. And Van Jones was like, listen, I'm married to a white woman, and if I can't call out the alt-right movement, then who can? We're in a bad place. And I thought, that's an odd thing to say, Van. It's a very odd thing to say. Van's like, I got street cred. Okay. Demi writes, good morning. Deborah writes, Donald Trump, to some degree, is going to take this country back to the 1960s. Well, he definitely is not going to take it back to the 1960s in terms of the income taxes for corporate entities. When you think about those fabulous good old times in the 50s and 60s and 40s, corporate entities, right, the wealthy 1% were paying a higher percentage in taxes. He's not going to take it back in terms of that. People always forget that. The good old days, rich people were paying more taxes. You don't remember that, do you? Dare writes, no, Ben Carson in his administration, that Gilligan coon did all that stumping for Trump, and all he got was a quick thank you at his post-election speech. I'm hearing that he could be the health secretary, Ben Carson. That's what I'm telling you. Yeah. Don't think you're done with Bill Carson and the way he talks. And I had a chance to talk to Ben Carson once. He called into the show. It was a hilarious interview. Maybe some of you heard that. We played a clip for you. Kesey writes, that's terrible. They were going to start dismantling the private prison system. But oh well now, right. Telling you, get yourself some prison stocks. Stay out of prison and get yourself some prison stocks. Demi writes, I miss Dave Chappelle, LOL. Mike writes, right, Nate, I love comedians who can weave consciousness into their comedy. Yeah, those are the kind of entertainers that I'm always drawn to. I mean, I support Kevin Hart, and I wish that brother nothing but the best, man. I hope he makes $1 billion for him and his family. Makes no difference to me whatsoever. But in terms of comedy, I found others to be funnier. For instance, Chris Rock was funnier to me because I'm just that kind of dude, though. You know, I want somebody that's clever enough to weave in, you know, things that are in the headlines, things that make us uncomfortable, things that, you know, are sort of like, you know, water cooler conversations, and turn it just a little bit, maybe add some irony or satire, but in most cases, irony, and make it funny. And that's what I liked about Dave Chappelle and his monologue last night. It was on not last night, but on SNL this past weekend. Brian writes, Ben Carlson sold himself out for nothing. LOL, not even a White House cook. LOL. Now, I'm hearing that he is in the running to be the Health and Human Services Secretary. Is that a secretary? If it's not, it should be. And if it is, and when it is, he's in the running for that. Tracy writes, if you thought Dave was funny, you should have seen Eddie Griffin Saturday. He went all the way in on Trump. I bet he did. Eddie Griffin don't bar none. And he smoke a lot of weed, which means he really don't bar none. Monique writes, good morning, Nate and folks. Glad to have you, Monique. Good morning. Junior writes, John the Baptist don't know ish. Dakota went to Mississippi State. We had to remind him last time. Yes, John is in a bubble, and he knows what he knows. He believes what he believes. That's it. James writes, Monday morning, choppers. Good morning to you, James. Yuli writes, good morning. Good morning, John. What's up, John Flowers? Mary writes, John from New Jersey doesn't vote. He needs to not talk about the elections. I tried. You hear me. You hear me. Junior writes, hold up. He didn't vote, right? Why are we talking politics, bro? Question mark. It is what it is. I appreciate the call, and brother, I don't know what it is with John. Okay, I don't know. I've been trying to figure it out for years. This is not new. Good morning, Jane. She writes, good morning, Chop Shop. Brian writes, John, you don't even vote. I think I got that right. Kiki writes, no worries, Mr. Ivy. I got you 6. Love you lots. Absolutely. Thank you for that correction. I ain't too big for it. I want to make sure I look good. If you see me looking crazy out here online, something misspelled or not right, incorrect factually, please let me know. Please let me know so I can correct it immediately. That's who I am. Tracy writes, LMAO, Nathan. Yes, just like you, John, who don't vote. People just like you. You're right. John writes, FYI, Harambe was killed by a zookeeper. They have a special team that is trained to respond to dangerous animal emergencies. It's still a funny joke, Joe. Come on, John. Don't mess up a good joke with the truth, John. Damn, man. Damn it. John? Thank you for that. Mary writes, hashtag retry him murder. Wait. Retry the murderer, Ray Tensing. Okay, I know I had to get it right, Mary. Thank you. I'm with you. Mary writes, jurors are bald, prosecutions are bald, judges are bald, new jurors, same-ish. I don't know if they're bald. All I know is that if you had more color on the jury, let's say you had one black man, and then maybe he had a different outcome, maybe not. And if perhaps Hamilt County Prosecutor Joe Deters had gone for lesser charges that perhaps he could have actually made stick, that we could be having a different conversation right now. James writes, I just say, let Ray meet me in an alley downtown and we can go heads up, toe to toe, and only one walks out. I feel you on that, James, I do. But I would say let the process go forward. Now, if it's a family member and it's the heat of the moment, if I'm on the jury, it depends on the evidence. That might be a hard sell. You know, I don't know what I would be. But I do not recommend any vigilante justice whatsoever. Let the system deal with it, and then we'll deal with the system. Pamela writes, hard to believe that Tensing is free, but Judge Hunter has 6 months over her head. Also, the guy that sold the heroin to the lady that overdosed was sentenced to 23 years. But the heroin addict didn't die. How is that possible? I'm telling you, the justice system is out of whack. Great flow, Pamela. Her flow encapsulates how wacky the justice system is here in Hamilton County. Like I said, I don't know what justice is anymore. When you can leave your child in a hot car, and on a hot day, in the summertime, in a car all day long, go to work for 8 hours, Let me back this up. You get up in the morning. You strap your kid into the car seat, as I do with Junior right now. You stop at a donut place and pick up some donuts. You put that into the back of your car. You drive to work. You get the donuts out of the car and leave your child strapped into the car seat on a hot as hell summer day in the Midwest. You walk out 8 or 9 hours later, and now you want to feign that you forgot. I don't believe it. I will never believe it, ever. There's no way in hell, okay? My wife and I now have 2 children. I went through this with little Buddha. There was no way in hell I could ever forget her in the car. And they talk about black people not caring about their children. This is a white professional woman. But because she was crying, and blah, 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 my baby, you didn't care about your baby, ma'am. You care more about the donuts. And Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Deters decided not to charge this woman. Now, ever since then, I don't know what child endangerment is. Because if leaving your child on a hot summer day in a car strapped in, the coroner said that basically the baby died a miserable death, grisly death, slow death. If that's not child endangering, damn it, I don't know what it is. So I don't really know what justice is here in Hamilton County. You have a woman with no record, no criminal record, who was a sitting judge, a publicly elected official. And she has 6 months hanging over her head because she gave her brother a piece of paper, literally gave her brother a piece of paper, a document that he could have used when he was dealing with his own issues with the law. I'll say it again, a document that can be obtained as I understand it. If I'm wrong about that, please call in and let me know. 513-873-7134. I'm not that guy. I don't want to look wrong behind the microphone. That rhymed. It's a rhythm thing. It rhymed. That you can obtain with a simple Freedom of Information request. And yes, she has 6 months over her head. And then you got an officer, albeit a University of Cincinnati officer. Did you see the current mayor, John Cranley? He issued a statement saying that, listen, downtown is safe. Glad to know we got our priorities straight. Said downtown is safe no matter what happens. Now, what does that tell you? What that tells you is that even though you did not see them, police assets were staged, okay, in very sensitive areas, ready to react. I keep telling you, I know this firsthand, not intimately, but I know this firsthand that it's to be true. And that's how you have the mayor who can confidently say, when people are protesting downtown, when we've seen people in other cities walk through the streets, tear up stuff, things are getting turned all the way up. It's because they had police assets, law enforcement assets ready and willing to do what they had to do to protect the beautiful downtown that we all now enjoy. But I thought it was interesting. The mayor, John Cranley, he also expressed how deeply disappointed he was in the verdict. Yeah. I mean, people forget this about John Cranley. And you know me, I keep it real. All right. Is that he's got some history working with the Innocence Project. The Innocence Project. And these are people who basically college students, researchers, and basically they go around the country, go around the state, and they find these cases where people have been unrighteously, okay, these miscarriages of justice. They've been incarcerated. They might have been on death row, and they work to exonerate them. That is huge work. I got nothing but respect for those people in the Innocence Project whatsoever. So you had the mayor, and again, that sets a tone when leadership is on the right side. They're on the right side of the particular issues, the right side of justice. Okay? Now, he's just talking because it's not going to change what happened with that particular jury in that particular courtroom. He also said, listen, we got to do this to be fair. He said, listen, these were not Cincinnati police officers. He actually said that. He said it in the interview. He said, listen, I got to be fair now. This wasn't us. This was them. Right? Very interesting. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. But what do you think? What do you feel? What have you seen? What have you heard? Miller writes, there's supposed to be a rally protest at noon outside the prosecutor's office demanding Deters to retry Tensing. If so, I'll be there. If so, I'll be there. Brenda writes, good morning, all. The last time I was outside the Hamilt County prosecutor, I don't know what the hell Black Lions talk about, but please pay no none of that nonsense, because I'm there on the scene as much as I can be. But the last time I was out, there was a protest, a movement outside of Hamilt County prosecutor's office. It was the president of NAN, Bishop Bobby Hilton, was there. I saw Mr. Rob Richardson Sr., who was the newly elected president of the NAACP, and some other concerned faces, some folks I recognized. Also, you had State Rep Cecil Thomas was there, and they were talking about the fact that some possible new evidence had arisen, or there was some evidence that was being blocked that could exonerate Judge Tracy Hunter. Was she there? She might have been there. I think I even got that was one of the first on-the-scene sort of things that I reported with you since we started a new platform. So if people are going to be there, I want to be there. Mary writes, retry attempting to financially bankrupt him and his family, if nothing else. That won't work because he's not going to be bankrupt. There are people out there willing to give their money for his defense. And it's not just about him. It's about the fact that they support law enforcement in general. And they might not even have all of the facts. But there are people out there willing to give thousands of dollars. See, that's the difference between some people and some people. Some people are willing to put their money where their mouth is. And some people are willing just to just talk about it. And there are people out there who don't even know Ray Tensing. They know nothing about the case. And they'll go to a GoFundMe. They'll go to a website and give donations in a heartbeat because they support police. They support law enforcement. It could be that family members were law enforcement. Okay, I get it. Okay, I got members of law enforcement in my family, friends. It could be that they were members of law enforcement. It could just be they just are law and order kind of people. And they believe that the police are getting a bad rap in general, so they want to support them in all cases. I get it. I get it. Good morning, Brenda. Good morning, everybody. Pat writes, SNL did not have bleeps during the show. I loved it. Welcome back, Dave Chappelle. Yeah, you heard the N-word, the B-word, all the words. The T-word, Trump. That's not a bad word. Mary writes, Melania and cyberbullying and her husband, the biggest cyber bully. Get your gun permits right. They playing games with you. Deborah writes, he's already promised stop and frisk in the black neighborhood. Yo, that'll be good for us. Just what we need. Stop and frisk. Thank you. Sarenthia writes, good morning. Akeem writes, good morning, choppers. I talk big and look big sexy with no stomach. You smell me, ladies? Thank you for that, Akeem. Appreciate that. Akeem writes, nice spandex leggings, Mary Myers. Purple is my favorite color. Make it rain on me. I could not make this up. I could not make this up. I'm live, I'm local, and I'm vocal. This is the Nathan Ivey Show.
Presents multiple choice parenting.
You accidentally cut your daughter's bangs unevenly. Do you A, line things up a centimeter from her hairline?
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
No. Sweatbands are so hot right now. Everyone's wearing them. Like that basketball player and that other basketball player.
B, get spiritual.
Mom, where did all the mirrors go?
A reflection could never capture our true selves.
Huh?
Beauty is within.
C, look on the bright side.
Less time blow drying, more time texting.
Or D, show empathy.
Mom, you really don't have
Ta-da! Twinsies!
I kinda love it. As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Adopt
It
U.S.
only
Kids.
takes a minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. And you can do it at doihaveprediabetes.org. But you're probably not going to. Nope. I'm sure you've got a perfectly good excuse. Kids, work. I get it. You're busy. So what better time than now? Let's begin. Raise one finger if you're a man. Ladies, none yet. Oh, count in your head if you're driving. Now, 3 more fingers for everyone over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40, 1 more if you're not physically active, another finger if anyone in your family has type 2 diabetes. Another if you've got high blood pressure. If you're overweight, raise another finger. 2 if you're very overweight. And 3 if you're really overweight. You've just taken the world's first audio prediabetes test. And if you're holding up 5 or more fingers, visit doihaveprediabetes.org or talk to your doctor. There's no excuse because prediabetes can be reversed.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Pre-Diabetes
Northwest Park, Nathan Ivey, the man, Cincinnati's only voice. And go to nathanivey.com, man. Check him out.
Donald Trump. Good morning, everyone. In a recent interview, Donald Trump spoke directly to the camera and he told people to stop harassing minorities. He said, stop it. And you better listen. Good morning. This is the Nathan Ivey Show. Sponsored by UC Health. UC Health, Cincinnati's only academic health system. My pleasure to be with you, as always. We broadcast live weekdays, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., with plans to expand to more. We grow every day. As long as I have your support, we grow every single day. Much more to follow. I'm excited to tell you more. But you know me, when I reveal to you what's happening, it's happening. We're in the process. And not just there yet. Kiki writes, he's nuts, but he has plenty of love and heart. Hashtag Black Lion is my fan. Absolutely. You got to support the people that support you. Mr. Holly writes, he sounds like he's a short guy. Ha ha. And he calls himself a lion? Well, he roars like a lion. Roar! Or the cowrie lion. Put him up, put him up, put him up. Fama writes, the Black Lion and Nathan on radio arguing over who was more down with the struggle. Here's a related story. The sun rose and 75 South had slow lanes with Union Center and its lock lane. In other words, who else is new? Or what else is new? LOL. Well, no, actually, I wasn't arguing about that at all. I want to make sure that if you're going to talk about me, you get the record straight. That's it. And don't try to put me out there and put yourself as some warrior and I'm sitting right next to you and you on the sidelines from the safety talking ish. I mean, when talking ish becomes activism, I mean, Black Lion will be Activist of the Year. This is my profession. Corinthia writes, faith leaders are meeting at the prosecutor's office around noon to demand a retrial. Will you be there, Mr. Ivey? Well, I'm not a faith leader. And I have not received any invitations, but I will be out and about. It seems like things are percolating, and I want to be there to report for you. Jennifer writes, the Walking Dead sketch was so good. Yes, it was. Adisa, it's a beautiful name, she writes, or he writes. They write, Donald Trump is a culmination of white backlash and an epic Democratic campaign failure. The DNC shoved Hillary Clinton down our throats instead of giving us Bernie. Here on that one. Here. Absolutely. The DNC, there was polls. Back when Bernie Sanders was in the primary, there were polls that suggested that Bernie Sanders would beat Donald Trump. And we will never know. It's the thing about regrets. When you choose your path, you can't unchoose the path. The DNC chose their path. They were in cahoots with the Hillary campaign, and they conspired against Bernie Sanders. And not only did they conspire against Bernie Sanders, they also were conspiring to shut up anybody who had anything to say negative about Hillary Clinton and supported Bernie Sanders. I'm talking about Nina Turner. They shut her down at the DNC. That was like, come over here. Come on. Sit down right now. And she did it. She's like, okay, I know my place here. You don't want to hear what I got to say? She was a hardcore Bernie surrogate. Bernie Sanders. We shall never know. We shall never know. Bernie Sanders didn't have the same baggage as Hillary Clinton, perhaps. And being a white male, there are a lot of, I talk to people, listen, I know one person I talked to, most unbelievably, who was like, man, I don't want no female president. This is a black person. I don't want no female president. I ain't gonna never let a woman lead me. And I'm thinking, clearly you've had some issues with women in your life. You show me a man that's always calling out women and everything a woman does, he's got a problem with it. I'm going to show you a man who's had some problem with women. Did a woman hurt your feelings? Did she cheat on you? Did she leave you? She disrespected you? Well, get over it, damn it. I don't care. So what? Jennifer writes, I was watching Dave Chappelle on Hulu last night. It all holds up. I laughed and laughed. He's the real deal. Yes, he is. Kiki writes, your Ben Carson voice, hilarious, Mr. Ivy. You want to know who does the best Ben Carson voice? The real Terrence Howard. It's a great Ben Carson voice. Rika writes, I think folks sleep on Bill Burr's comedy. Okay, I'll check them out. Ms. D writes, Deters proudly announced that there were 2 black men in the box, but didn't want to be on the jury. And I say these 2 black men, I want to call them sucker MCs. I really want to. But again, I don't know their particulars of their life. Maybe they had to work. Again, generally speaking, if you look at the amount of wealth in black households compared to the amount of wealth in white households, it's different. In Hamilton County, in the city of Cincinnati, you're talking about a $30,000 difference. So what does that mean? Well, there's a trickle-down effect then, friends. There's a trickle-down effect. That even affects people's willingness to be on a jury. Because if I've got money in the bank and I've got job security, then I'm going to be far more open to spending a week or 2 or 3 weeks or even a month off the job than if I'm living paycheck to paycheck. And because of a lot of factors, including historical racism, right? People who are historically disenfranchised, i.e. people of color. That means that people of color are in a different position when it comes to deciding about whether they want to be on a jury. It all has effect. It's a cumulative effect, folks. Rico writes, justice system was not created for us unless it's us on us. Stay out. KR writes, the woman that left her child in the car but got the donuts was in Claremont County. Joe could not persecute. Well, you're wrong about that, KR. There were 2 cases. There was one, I believe it was in Claremont County, but there was another in Cincinnati. I know what I'm talking about. Joe Deters, it happened in Cincinnati. It was at a college in Cincinnati. So people always get that mistaken. There were 2 cases that happened, not one. Both white people, both white women that did that. See, if a black woman, if you leave your child in a car, man, listen, not only are you unfit, but the people at the church where you attend are unfit as parents. Your mama's unfit. Your father's unfit. You know, there'll be a media investigation into what you were eating that day. What kind of music you listen to? Oh, listen to that damn Beyonce. She's unfit. When a white woman does it, oh, she's just overworked. It's commentary on just how difficult it is to juggle all these things in the workplace, and don't get so caught up in the rat race you forget your kids. And please, either that woman was on drugs, or she was mentally incompetent, unstable, or she did it on purpose because she didn't want to be a parent no more. Period. Those are only 3 options. I do not believe that any sane and rational person that cares about their child can leave their child in a car all day. I've dropped my daughter off and my son off at daycare every single day. As a parent, there's a big difference from having a child in the back of your car and not having a child in the back of your car. It's a big difference. And you know it. The hell, I don't ever want to hear no crap like that. I forgot my baby. No, you didn't. Tanika writes, did you hear Scotty Johnson say, I don't care what anybody says, that man needs to be in jail? No, I did not. Maddie writes, good morning. After watching SNL, I watched the Chappelle show and just laughed. His comedy holds up all the way then and now. Yeah. If you look at some of those skits, man, they will hold 10 years from now, people will still be laughing at it. And, nobody's accused Dave Chappelle of drugging them. Everybody, they're trying to stop that man. Speaking of Bill Cosby is blind and 80 years old. He ain't about to buy NBC nothing. Oh, they ought to get him to stop his legacy. What legacy? I don't hear anybody talking about Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle drugged me. Not one person. Nobody's doing that with Lou Diamond Phillips. I don't hear it. Nobody's doing that with Blair Underwood. These Cosby apologists. Now, damn Blair Underwood, nobody. He's been in Hollywood all this time making all that Hollywood money. Nobody's accused Blair Underwood of drugging him. I believe it about Bill Cosby, period. I don't have any evidence, but I believe it. Brian writes, speaking of cats, Monday Night Football, I hope my Bengals have as much fight as Black Lion. Unamused. What did he call that? Honky ball is what he said. That dude. Pat writes, kudos to Jane Huff for starting a Facebook page, Friends Who Like the Nathan Ivey Show. Jane, thank you so much. I saw it over the weekend. I'm remiss in my duties. Forgive me, Jane, and others. Yeah, some folks, some of the choppers started a Facebook page. I guess you would call it a fan page. I appreciate it, and I will support it. Absolutely. Friends Who Like the Nathan Ivey Show. And I'll be honest with you, something like that is something I can share with investors. I can share with potential sponsors and advertisers and whomever to show them that, in fact, that we do have an audience here, that people do turn the show on a regular basis, and that it sets the groundwork for whatever comes next. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Jane, Pat, Kiki, whoever. I appreciate it very, very much. Where are my manners? Thank you, Pat. Damn, I ain't got no manners. Where my manners at? Brian writes, remember black woman put her child in the closet to go to an interview work? I don't agree. She got how many years in jail? Her kids are still alive. Yes, I do remember that, Brian. I don't remember all the details, but she put her kids in the closet to go to work, which that ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work. They're gonna open the door and get out of the closet. Okay? But what does that say to you? Where are the fathers at? That's what I say. Where are the fathers at? She shouldn't have had to do that. That's the desperateness that some people are in. The desperateness. Yuli writes, there needs to be legislation that the time someone spends on jury duty should be paid leave. Absolutely. And then you'll have more people of color who have been historically disenfranchised who have no problem with being on jury duty. But again, if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you got responsibilities, a lot of folks maybe have the right heart to it. They just ain't got the time and the money for it. I get it. See, Rico writes, speaking of mental issues, Dylan Roof not fit to stand trial. Is that right? Is that right? I don't know. She telling me that Dylan Roof, he's the guy who went down to the church in the Carolinas and killed a lot of people. And as I read, Rico, it was just a suggestion from a federal judge. I didn't know that he was found mentally incompetent or not competent enough to stand for trial. I think that's just what the conversation is. I mean, he's got this suit. Well, look at the hair. Hair says a lot about people's mentalities in some cases. I mean, look at the hair. The judge in the death penalty trial of Dylan Ralph believes it's possible the white man charged with gunning down 9 black parishioners in Charleston last year may not be mentally competent to stand trial. So, again, I didn't know that this was set in motion, like this was the decision. As I understood it, this is something they're kind of talking about. You're not really sure. But people are telling me that things are percolating around the city. Okay, I'll be your eyes and ears. If something's going on outside the Hamilt County Prosecutor's Office, I'd like to be down there. Someone has said that something may be happening down at City Hall in terms of members of the clergy. Religious leaders are going to go down there. Great. Ray Tensing needs to be retried because it sends the right message, even if they don't get a conviction the second time around. Something tells me that and again, I'm no legal expert, but something tells me that the proper direction should be that Ray Tensing should be retried with a new jury, with new charges, lesser charges, okay, more believable charges that are easier to stick, quite honestly. Because I would rather see Ray Tensing go to jail for 10 years than to see him not go to jail because the prosecution's trying to get 15 years or they're trying to get 20 years. But that's me. What do you think? What do you think? Did you see Wanda Sykes? She flipped off the crowd for booing her anti-Trump material. I don't give a damn what y'all think. And so what? I love it. And Trump, this is so interesting. Trump says that he is going to appoint Supreme Court justices that are pro-life, meaning that, and don't believe that Roe v. Wade can't be overturned within your lifetime. It could be. But when he was asked a question about same-sex folks and their rights, he said, well, that's already established law by the Supreme Court. Wait a minute. That's a contradiction. Someone should ask Donald Trump, will you support Supreme Court justices that are anti-rights for same-sex individuals, same-sex couples? It's interesting. Thank you for your time. This show will be made available as a podcast in about 20 minutes. Give me about 40 minutes to add all the bookmarks to the show to make it more user-friendly for you. Thank you for listening. Tell one person about the show as we grow. Tell them weekdays, Monday through Fridays. If you live in the city of Cincinnati and beyond, if you're a fan of talk radio, you have an alternative. Invite them to join the Chop Shop. And thanks for the listeners that started the Friends of the Nathan Ivey Show. I appreciate you, that fan page on Facebook. I appreciate you for that. A shout out to my friends over at soulpublicradio.com. My new friends, the X-Squad affiliates. The flag is rising in the horizon. Thank you to the good folks at Superlative Media that produce the Nathan Ivey Show. They do great work. And a thank you to you, Team and I, and the Choppers. Until tomorrow morning, I'm out.